Dun 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 dun. That's the best I got, guys. Monday Night Football with Will Harrell, Clinton coach Will Harrell, my guy Ryan Pittman, and Trey Scott. Man, we're here to talk about Kinston at Whiteville, 4th round matchup, big time football. Before we get there, me, Ryan, and of course, Will, I know you won't dare, but I know you know what went down. Let's check out the Aiden Griffin game. Well, let's just talk about it first. Ryan, talk about the first half, because it was a tale of two halves between the games.
Yeah, I mean, it was very. I don't know. We got some news right from the get go that number 3, the running back from Aiden Griffin, wasn't. Maybe he was playing. We didn't. We kind of didn't know. We saw him warming up, but he came out. But man, Kinston's defense, not just first half, the whole game, they really stepped up. Held Aiden Griffin to 1 touchdown and a field goal. In that game. But Kinston's their offense was a little slow in that first half. Never really could get anything going. But I felt like we talked about during halftime, being down 3-0 for Kinston in that half or after that first half was huge, and they needed to stop because Aiden Griffin got the ball to start the second half. They got the stop. Went down, took care of business, started putting some points up. Playmakers started making some plays, and they were just too much for Aiden Griffin on Friday night.
Hey, Will, when you heard Paul Cornwell and Garrett Wingate and Ryan Gieselman were meeting up in the 3rd round, what went through your head? Because I know you know all those guys, man.
That's some good guys, man. I mean, I know each of them, and Paul coming back from taking a little break. That was good definitely great for Aiden Griffin. But all those guys are good friends of mine. They're good buddies with each other. They run very similar schemes, and it was. When I saw that matchup, I said, "Man, it's going to be a really good chess match between the two." I mean, and no doubt it lived up to it.
And it did. And I thought it was going to be a aired out session, and boy, was I wrong. And I think Ryan said it too. He thought Kinston was going to put up big numbers. And man, we had a defensive game, and there's 2 studs I want to talk about. The play of the game, down 3-0 in the second half. Let's see if this is the play. Yes, it is. Down 3-0 in the second half. Nobody really got anything going. Aiden Griffin started every possession inside their own territory, or I might say that wrong. But Kinston couldn't get nothing going. Aiden couldn't get nothing going until this play right here by Xavier Cream. And that was huge. That was huge. Ryan, how big was that play?
Yeah, it was massive, Trey. And look at all the fans that were there, man. Kinston really showed out. I was glad, we talked about it being just 10, 15 minutes up the road. But I want to shout out to the coaching staff too, because standing on the sideline, I was kind of down on the opposite side of where Chance, who took this video, was, and the coaching staff was, they called it out right before it. I mean, they were prepared. They had the defense ready. They were like, hey, look for, this pass, bubble. And, I think they tried to run to the hitch there, and Cream was right there, man. And look, good luck catching that guy. I mean, he's a, good track athlete, but I mean, that was the play that really, got them. That's what they needed. And then, like I said, the offense kind of stepped up and started making plays as well.
You're right. And after that, the offense got going, and they got momentum going after that in the second half. Let's watch this run by Jeremiah Hart. He had a big game, and this type of plays was not going on in the first half. They were getting 2 or 3 yards of carry, wasn't getting the push, but something clicked in that second half. And just watch this one play. I think he got hit like 10 times and never stopped. Now that's a team first down right there.
Yeah, I mean, push them 20 yards all the way down to the 1.
Yeah, that put what's it called? What's the Eagles tush push
Yeah.
for 30?
Yeah, that was a 30-yard tush push. Yeah.
Hey, Will, do you have this play in the playbook?
Absolutely, man. It's the best play in football, baby.
Get behind him and push them. Who's better? Who's stronger? Who's in the weight room?
That's right. That's where your weight room shows up right there, especially this time of year.
Talking of weight room, man, another thing that excelled on the Kinston defense was their interior lineman, Isaiah Newton. Isaiah Newton was big. He's 5'8", 180, and he's ripped. I ain't gonna say he's ripped up, but he's not a small guy. He's big. He's a thick guy, and he plays hard, man. Ryan, you saw it from the get-go. They could not block him. He was getting through every play from the beginning, from the first play to the last play. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the smallest guys on the field at sometimes, man. He's got one of the biggest hearts, though. I mean, the motor just never stops. Reminds me of like the little kid story, the little engine that could, man. Every time you looked up and, you know, the Aiden Griffin quarterback was being pressured, it was Newton. And that's what they need. And, I mean, they're going to need it in a big way this week coming up, too.
I see Mark said who won the game. Kinston won the game 20-9. Let's listen to Isaiah after the game right quick on his interview. At first, it can be a little harder hearing because I had to record it from the live.
Winning what they do. So
preparation during the week. What did you see on film? What did y'all work on during the week? Because you were unstoppable tonight.
Our coaches wanted us to apply pressure all week, and we was running their plays, getting better in practice, and just winning what they do. So scout team gave us a good look for practice, so I could go out here and be dominant tonight. And coaches, I give all the credit to the coaches, and that's why I just wanted to perform for my teammates.
So when you were out there, how were you able to get through? I know the coaches set you up, but was it your quickness? Were you just finding the gaps, or what was it?
My speed. I knew the linemen were slow, and I knew they couldn't match my speed, so I just beat them off the ball every time, and they couldn't stop.
All right, I got two questions for you, Will. And by the way, y'all, if for y'all that don't know Coach Will just he was coaching at South Lenore. Was it 4 years or 3 years?
3 years.
And then moved on to Clinton High School. The main reason we got Coach Will here, one, he's a friend, and two, Clinton faced Whiteville this year, and he's very familiar with the team. So we're going to get some expert analysts on that in just a few seconds. So my two questions for you, Will, Coach Will, how much goes into the preparation of watching film, especially on a playoff game, on a team that you've already faced this year, that you got film on between your two? How crazy, how nuts does it get?
Well, not only that, you know, those two teams play each other every year too. So I mean, they're so familiar with each other, and you know, not only just football. You know, they see each other in every sport, man. So you know, breaking down that film, you know, they probably have multiple films throughout the season. You know, you got to prepare for almost every little trick play, little gimmick play. You got to be ready for anything. You know, it's win or go home this time of year. So the preparation is almost twice or sometimes 3 times as insane this time of year as it is during the regular season.
My next question, and we haven't started talking about Whiteville yet, but that is definitely our next question, and this will lead into it. Isaiah Newton, you faced him last year. I'm not sure if you remember him, but he's a tough kid, and plays with grit, plays with high motor. How does his skill set match up against Whiteville's offensive scheme?
Well, you know, I mean, he's not the 6'4", 300-pound guy you typically think about it on the defensive line. But honestly, man, if you give me a kid like that that's got a high motor, a lot of heart, that's just tough to block, I mean, he's going to be crucial and a very vital part of creating havoc inside what Whiteville wants to do. I mean, I'd love to have the size, don't get me wrong, but, man, you give me a kid with that type of motor, habit's going to happen. He's going to create plays. He might not make every single tackle, but with his skill set, he can make a lot of what us coaches call make the play, but not make the tackle. He can, you know, help out a teammate. They might have to double him. They might have to chip him. Somebody's got to account for him to secure that line.
And one more question. how much does he brought? I thought he had a great interview right then. He brought up the coaching and he brought up the scout team. How much is getting a good look from that scout team? How important is that? And honestly, how hard is it to get a good look from the scout team? That I thought that was pretty hard to get. So for them to have the depth to get good looks speaks volumes.
Yeah, so you can never 100% mimic what the other team's going to give you because you don't run that scheme. You can run something similar, but never exactly to it. You can never dictate the speed of the game. You can never dictate how fast they're going to go with the rhythm and everything. But getting a great look from your scout team week in and week out is huge. I mean, all the coaches will agree with me. If you can make practice hard, it makes Friday nights easier. So getting a good look Monday through Thursday is huge, especially this time of year.
Yeah, I agree. And it paid off for Isaiah Friday night, and we could tell. All right, guys, let's watch this highlight video I got off Facebook. I hope I don't get in trouble for resharing it. This might be the last live in Loose News Sports. But
we're done.
I don't know if the music's going to play, but it's edited. So let's just check out this little quick highlight tape. I want to hear the music, honestly. Oh, I ain't got it. Pick number 2, 21 up the middle. All the videos I've seen a lot of fumbles and a lot of interceptions from their defense.
And they put a lot of pressure on you, and they thrive on turnovers. Did a very good us.
This is what I got from them, which is not much, man. They're 12-1. They're number 2 seed. This is their 3rd year in a row in the 4th round. They lost last year to Northeastern, 17-14. We know how good Northeastern is now. To see both those teams at the number 1 and number 2 seed, it makes sense. It makes sense. Looking at their games, over half their teams had losing records, but they've been tested. James Keenan, we know how good James Keenan is. They lost to James Keenan, which was a close game. Their best game, in my opinion, was a 51-28 win over Pender. Pender's currently deep into 1A playoffs, playing Tarboro this Friday. The offense has scored 40 points in 9 of 11 games. The defense has held the opponents to 1 TD or less. Coach Harrell, what is Kinston walking into Friday night?
Well, we played them the week after they lost to James Keenan in overtime. And like you just said, man, it was – I remember looking at that film, man, it was a knockdown, drag-out, physical battle. I think James Keenan jumped up 2 touchdowns on them early, and Whiteville forced some fumbles late in the game and come back and sent the game to overtime. Jumped up 2 touchdowns. But Whiteville has a very good, very impressive, very physical defensive line. I mean, their front 4 are very good. They're number 58. You can talk to Coach Grady down at James Keenan. I mean, that's the first person he told me about when I called him. He's very difficult to block, very agile. He really anchors their D-line. They flow very fast defensively. They're all over the place. And they hit you. I mean, they're a very physical football team. They're a wing tee, shotgun wing tee, a little bit of wildcat type offense. So you would think that they're going to slow the game down. That's not the case. They're going to be no huddle, just like Kinston's going to be. I mean, that's going to be a long ball game for both of them, trying to get just as many plays in as possible.
Coach, that was my next question, because we talked before the show. You were talking about how fast it was going to be, and they run. Everything I seen was like a wing tee type scheme. Right. So it's a no huddle wing.
Yes,
that's crazy.
I mean, I'm telling you, man, they would come up, they would check just like all those spread gurus do, and they're looking to the sideline. They're giving a signal, a word, bam, the ball snap. They get right back on the ball, bam, ball snap. I mean, they're pushing tempo, and I mean, they did a great job against us getting our early going as fast as possible. Then we kind of, it sounds weird saying against a wing tee team, man, we had to kind of slow down to kind of stay in the game the first half. And I mean, what I remember of them, they don't have a whole lot of guys going both ways. and they were able to rotate and stay fresh. I mean, they had multiple backs, multiple quarterbacks, multiple linemen. So, I mean, they have a very solid program, but the biggest thing I remember with them, they were very physical.
The quarterback, is he under center? Is he mixing between pistol, shotgun? They run a little bit of it all.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. I mean, and like I said, they'll rotate a couple different guys back there at quarterback. But I mean, primarily they were under center. I think after they scored their second touchdown on us, they kind of got some spread wing T type stuff, and we did a good job of slowing the run down. But I mean, they come out and decided, hey, we can throw the ball too. I mean, I think they were, if I remember the stats correctly, they were very balanced in the rushing and the aerial attack against us. As far as I think they were maybe 60-40 run to pass. I mean, they were pretty balanced. And, most time wing T teams, you don't think of it like that, but when they were able to exploit it through the air as well. So it's not just your classic wing T ground and pound type game. I mean, they can put it in the air too.
Ryan, you talked to some guys over the weekend, coach from Eastern Wayne. What did you get from your friend?
Yeah, so just talking to him, obviously Eastern Wayne went down to Whiteville and lost this past Friday, and he made a comment to me, which I was glad to see, but not, and this is not taking anything away from Whiteville, but he said that they are a beatable team. And he made sure to say not taking anything away from them and their abilities, but Eastern Wayne didn't think that they played to their best ability. He said that they ran it a lot on Eastern Wayne. They did pass it to number 3. That he said he's a playmaker, that he'll play both sides of the ball. But kind of like what Coach Will just said, they're his comment where they're a complete team. And it's going to take, whoever they're playing with is Kinston this week. So it's going to take Kinston to have a complete game of themselves, a complete game for the complete team, kind of a perfect storm. But, we'll have to see Friday night.
I was getting my squares together. Sorry about it, Ryan.
You're fine.
With that being said, did you talk about the quarterback coming in, the athletic quarterback? So, yeah, Coach Harold, is that true? Is that what you see? You see do they run a wildcat? Do they come back with something else? Multiple guys, or?
Yeah. Well, let me say, number 7 is their starting quarterback, but they need a key on number 5. He comes in as a running quarterback. They run a wildcat, and he does not want to run it inside. He's outside. That's what you're asking. So,
what you got, Coach Will? You agree with everything that mini scouting report?
Oh yeah, I mean we saw some of that on film early. I mean they're just like any coach. Plan A ain't working, they'll go to Plan B. Plan B ain't working, they'll go to C. I mean they really. What I remember of them, they were looking at them on film and playing them in person. They're gonna play the hot hand. I mean if they find something that you struggle with, they're just gonna repeat it, kind of like old wing T teams do until you stop it. When you do, they're gonna go to something else. I mean, but. They were, like I said, classic under center, and then we kind of stopped that, and they jumped into little spread stuff, and they brought 5 in at quarterback, let him run around a little bit. A lot of sweeps type stuff, a little bit of boot out, play action stuff on the edge with the option to run, and it's I mean, they're pretty daggone good, man.
Good deal. Let's look at let's bring this up. Players to watch. Just watching a little bit of film, I've seen Xavier Allen, a little quick wing guy. He's really has been very explosive getting in and out. Also, I've seen I'm definitely going to screw this name up. Oh my God.
Powell.
No, I can't do it.
Go on. Mr. Powell.
Malcolm Powell. Anyway, but Powell's the guy I seen mostly get all the work. He had like 19 touchdowns last year, almost 1,000 yards. Do you remember number 24 getting a lot of totes? What do you remember about this guy?
Oh yeah, man, he was a very physical downhill runner. Had pretty good vision of him to be his size. I mean, He was pretty shifty. Didn't mind lowering the shoulder and just taking and delivering punishment. I mean, he was a very impressive runner. But I mean, they also, I mean, there's a stable of them, and they were the same way on JV. They rotated guys. You're going to see this time of year, you might see 5 go back there and some of the back a little bit. You might see number 3 all over the field, from receiver to quarterback to running back. He was ought to be everywhere. But 24 and 2 were very good for them. And all I can tell you is, boys, good luck to you, Coach Giesman.
Yeah, Trey, one thing when I was looking at their roster, I mean, I know you said last year they made it to the 4th round. If I counted it right, there's 18 or 19 seniors on this team.
That means a lot. Man.
Yeah, and including those 2 guys there. I mean, so these guys are battle tested. I mean, they know what it takes to win. They know what it takes to go deep into these playoffs. And what they want is, because I know what they're thinking. They know that James Keenan is going to go to Northeastern next week, or on Friday, and Northeastern is going to win. They want. I'm not saying they're overlooking Kinston, but they're ready. They're ready for that next round, a chance to go to the state championship. But I mean, a lot of seniors, a lot of guys who played a lot of football. And Coach, you might be able to talk more about this, but I feel like those teams, like your Wallace Hill, Clinton, Whiteville, kind of what you see that southeastern part of the state. Man, these guys play football together all their, since they've been Pee-wees. And so, I mean, these guys have played a lot of snaps together. They've won. They've been very successful. I mean, what do you what's your take on that?
Well, I mean, you guys, I'm a Northeast North Carolina guy, born and raised. And the big thing I saw when I first came down here, I mean, and I still say I'm still going further south, going to Clinton, but Whiteville, Duplin County, all the Duplin County schools, all that area, man, there's like, we have 5 Pop Warner football teams. We got flag football rolling. I know Duplin County's got multiple middle schools that feed into the schools. Man, these guys, like you just said, they've been playing ball probably since they were 5 all together. I mean, from flag right on up. So, I mean, they got a great chemistry. Obviously, they get to the high school level, the weight room is going to change their body and stuff. But, I mean, they're so familiar with each other. And them making that deep run last year, man, just shows their level of commitment they made to each other and to the program, man. That's huge.
Ryan, we're pretty much wrapped up here, but the end of the show, I'm gonna ask both of y'all this, and I'm gonna give my own. What is some keys? I'm not even gonna say 3 keys. We usually go 3 keys, but what's some keys, Ryan, that Kinston has to do to win?
You and I talked about it this morning. We were talking about the show tonight, but for me, I really feel like Kinston can't get down early in this game. I mean, they've got to. If this is going to be a high-scoring, fast-paced game, like Coach thinks it's going to be, they got to score every time they have the ball. Hope to get a stop. Their guys, Kroom, Newton, some of them other guys that we haven't talked about tonight, step up, make a play. But when they do get those opportunities, they got to take advantage of it. Looking at it, we haven't seen any stats on max preps, which is sucks for us because I love looking at stats. I know you do too, Trey. But looking at some of those game, at the end of the highlights that you see on Huddle, they have allowed some passing yards. So I would like, if Kinston is going, I feel like it's going to have to be a perfect storm. But I mean, they're in the 4th round for a reason. They've taken care of their business up to this point. Why can't they beat Whiteville? Why can't they go down there and shock the world? So Tyler Jones have a big game. Okie Edwards, Tyreek Copper, Alex Moore, Jeremiah Hart, on the offensive side, and go down there and shock the world, and hope you ain't got to go to Elizabeth City next week.
That's right. I hope they get shocked too.
Yeah, and we're at James Keenan. Yeah.
Coach Harold, what you got, big dog? What's Kinston got to do to win this game?
I mean, 2 things. Just knowing Kinston like I do and playing Whiteville. The winner of the game is going to be who wins the turnover battle. One, for Kinston, I mean, I can say it just because, I was doing the offensive thing in Clinton this year and, had a ball doing it. if Kinston can secure that line of scrimmage and he can give quarterback time, they can get the ball in space, then they're going to be very dangerous. They're going to be hard to deal with. But I mean, if you don't secure that line of scrimmage, man, them front four on defense are going to be coming, baby. And that's all I can tell you.
I got a couple of things. For one, on the defensive side, Kinston's defense has shown me this year they can win this game. I seen it down at James Keenan in the first half. Kinston gave James Keenan all they wanted. To know that they can contain, because I don't know if anybody can stop James Keenan's run, but knowing that they can contain James Keenan's run is big to me. So 11 hats to the ball. That's got to be important. And while them 11 hats are to the ball, Xavier Croom and Man Poole has to stay focused. Both of them are big hitters, especially Croom, but they cannot give up a big play as well. And they have done great with that in the playoffs so far. On my offensive side, I want y'all to check this play out, man. Look how easy this play is. And of course, they had the bats against the end zone. They know they had to get rid of it fast, but these type of plays Tyler Jones needs to get going early with easy Tom Brady passes. Back of the end zone. Boom, dump it off. Just get rid of it. Let your play. There's too many playmakers on this team to be holding this ball more than 3 seconds. Don't get me wrong. There's going to be plays where they got to get down the field, and we got to get Tyreek and Copper on a 3 to 5 step. But make it easy for the guys. Make the playmakers make plays. Ballers are going to ball. Alex Moore's going to make plays. Croom's going to make plays. Copper, Okie Edwards, Jeremiah Hart, not Josiah Hart. Jeremiah Hart, they're going to make plays. We just got to give them the ball in open space. And Coach Diesel does a great job with that with the rest of his offensive coaches. Coach Will, to end it, how's the offseason? What you got up to?
I'll tell you what, man. I don't know if y'all can tell. I just got back from a little deer stand a while ago, man. So being able to, be able to have a whole lot more free time and spend the time with my children that I missed out the past few years, and being able to hunt, man. Everybody knows me knows if I don't get to hunt, man, I'm just ill all the time, man. I didn't see nothing. I saw about 10 million squirrels today, but just being able to get out in the woods, and you know how it is, man. When you can find your itch and you can go be you and just rewind, recharge your batteries a little bit, man. That's been fun. We're looking forward to the group coming up for the middle school, and our JV had a pretty solid season, and we're excited about the future, and getting ready to close out first semester and get ready to get going with this thing, come January. So, man, we're excited about the future, and I always look at it as a football coach. You think your downtime is Christmas break, and then January, here we go again, man. You grind all that time for 10 guaranteed Fridays a year.
Well, man, we appreciate you, man. We really do. You're always our friend over here, and we might need you before the game. You never know.
Hey, Coach. I haven't seen it, but I spent a lot of time in Clinton for work. There's a little taco spot across right in front of Tropicana. I don't know if you've ever been there, man. They got some of the best tacos in Eastern North Carolina.
Know all about it, baby. That crowd done shut
me
down there. They done took me there on Laha, Burrito Shack.
Yeah.
Been down to Alfredo's a few times. And one thing about the Clinton crowd, baby, you going to eat. I'm going to tell you that right now. Them church care of us this year, man. We appreciate every bit of it.
Good deal. Hey, Coach, we'll see you soon. Good job, Ryan. Good job, Coach. This is your preview. We'll have more coming up. We're going to keep digging for stats. We're going to keep digging for any little secret. Check out the website. We'll go live again this week, guys. We'll see you soon. A lot of big basketball games tomorrow. Kinston finally gets on the court. Green Central, Norfolk Wednesday. Tune in. We're going to have you updated on all. I'm Trey Scott. I'm in the live.